When you go on vacation or visit specific places, it's always a fun idea to see the tourist spots wherever they may be, but it might be even a little bit of extra fun to see the haunted places that lurk within. Hi, my name is Jessa, and please join me as we look together top 10 terrifying places in Japan haunted by ghosts. Oh, and before we begin, in the last video I was in top 10 evil women who spent their life in prison, I did give you guys a riddle. The riddle was, forward I am heavy, backward I am not. What am I? The answer is a ton, because not is backwards is ton. Your next riddle will be at the end of this video. Anyways, let's get started. Number 10. Weekly Mansion. Despite being a luxury hotel, Weekly Mansion in Akasaka is one of the most horrifying places to spend your night in. Building number 1 in the hotel premise has witnessed several paranormal activities like white mist from vents, being pushed on the bed while asleep, and electric appliances turning on by themselves. A woman claimed that she was even dragged on the floor of the room, and her back indeed had scratch marks as she was told. Well, Japan has very beautiful places to stay at, so if anything, you might want to look at other places. Number 9. Inokane Pass Tunnel. It is always so interesting that places are in complete darkness spells for something sinister lurking within. And in this case, it's the Inokane Pass Tunnel, also known as the Whispering Tunnel. The dark and dingy structures are perfect for wrongdoings, and that is what happened to a young girl a few decades ago. The girl was killed and never laid to rest peacefully, and has been said to haunt the tunnel ever since, making it one of the most haunted places in Japan. A visitor to the tunnel will hear whispering and gibberish, but mostly hear the words stop, asking them not to venture further ahead. Those who dare often feel a presence of poking, shoving, prodding them, and it's unlikely that they will ever cross the length of the end of the tunnel. Number 8. Oiran Buchi. Men have exploited women since the dawn of time, but the story of the adult workers of the Oiran of Yamanashi still haunts people today. The Oiran Buchi Bridge is counted amongst the scariest in Japan, as the tale goes back to the 16th century when the area had gold mines that were run by the Takeda clan, who also ran the brothels to keep the miners happy. After the Battle of Nagashino, the Takeda clan escaped from the area, but not before killing all the adult workers so that they wouldn't share the information about the mines. The clan members invited the ladies of the night onto the bridge and slashed the ropes. It is said that the wails and cries of the women can still be heard from the gorge below, and with that being said, it has been widely known as the Wailing Women. Number 7. Okiku Well. In Ireland, the legend of the Banshee speaks for a woman who was left in tragedy, where she is now a malevolent spirit where she wails and cries over the losses she's endured. In Japan, they also have one as well, as lurking into the Okiku Well, within the Himeji Castle in an old well with a very intriguing tale of love and tragedy. It is also one of the most haunted places in Japan, as it is where a ghost appears at night and screams. The ghost is the spirit of Okiku, a young girl who served the samurai Aoyama Tessan. Aoyama loved Okiku, but his love was not reciprocated in what can be terminated as a harassment today. He hid a valuable article and blamed it on Okiku, and he offered not to punish her if she became his lover. But Okiku wasn't going to have any of it, and she refused to accept it, and in a fit of rage, Aoyama threw her in the well, killing her. This is why she can still be heard wailing in the silence of the night. Number 6. Nakagusuku Hotel. The decrepit hotel runs of the Nakagusuku Hotel is among one of the favorite haunted attractions in Japan. The hotel was proposed as a luxury resort, as it's just a stone thrown away from the Nakagusuku Castle. The hotel constructed was opposed by a monk who said it would disturb the holy site and graves in the area, but capitalists' greed took over, and the owner started building it anyway. After several mishaps and workers' deaths, the construction was stopped, and a bit to restart it, the owner promised to stay overnight at the hotel to prove it was safe, but instead he returned talking crazy in the morning and disappeared off the face of the earth. Even today, people can see lights and feel a cold presence in the empty corridors of this hotel. Number 5. SSS Curve, the martyrs of World War. Located in Okinawa, Japan, the stretch of the road is said to be haunted. During World War II, many Japanese soldiers lost their lives here. It is said that the spirits still haunt the place they fell, including the SSS Curve. Not much information is known about this particular place, but visitors have said that their paranormal experiences have been extreme. Some have claimed to have had episodes of nausea, dizziness, and the feeling of someone's hand on their body, not to mention the feeling of being watched. Some reporters have said that they see ghostly figures with soldier clothing walking in the area. Many paranormal investigators have visited this area trying to capture this paranormal phenomena. Number 4. Himuro Mansion. Just outside of Tokyo, Himuro Mansion is believed to be one of the eeriest places in Japan. This mansion has witnessed some of the bizarre activities like occultist practices and gruesome deaths. According to the local lore, the family in this mansion practiced the strangling ritual, Shinto, to seal off bad karma on Earth for every 50 years. But the ritual got tainted as a lover once saved his maiden from being sacrificed. After this, the master of the home killed everyone in the family, and then he also took his own life. The ghosts of the family members still linger in the mansion and tries to attract people so as to complete the tainted ritual. If you were to go to it, you might witness some activity. Some mention seeing phantom splatters of blood appearing on the wall, a figure of a girl hovering a specific window, or if you're unlucky, you might actually have the same experience some other visitors had, which is having broken wrists with marks on them as if they've been pulled with ropes. Number 3. Ikego Middle Gate. War is a brutal and disgusting time that showcases the worst in humanity. In World War II, the Japanese used this place as a weapon depot and a prisoner of war camp. Thousands of Chinese and Koreans were put to work and killed in this place. The 5 incinerators are still standing by to this day. The place was soon turned into a housing complex for the US troops, not the most tasteful place, but it is said that all the prisoners whom died still haunt the place. Many people have claimed of hearing crying for help. The camp has 3 gates, the main, the middle, and the back gate. Guards of the middle gate reports hearing footsteps, voices, feeling like they're being watched. To make things worse, some people have reported seeing soldiers in World War II clothing, crawling on the ground or floating, who is missing his legs. Each year, the camp holds a harvest and haunted forest festival that allows visitors to come into the grounds and camp. Number 2. Hiroshima. Of course, one of the most tragic and devastating is Hiroshima-Nagasaki bombings that occurred in the hands of the Americans that ended up liberating the end of World War II. It was in this Hiroshima-Nagasaki incident that which the atomic bomb nicknamed the Little Boy destroyed the lives of over 140,000 people. The attack took place at the Hiroshima Prefecture Industrial Promotion Hall, which is now changed to Hiroshima Peace Memorial. The place has been claimed to be haunted as the people nearby have heard uncanny voices near the dome. Not only this, but there have been also numerous incidences of electronic voices phenomena where you can hear the atomic bomb exploding itself. Hiroshima survivors often refrain from talking about their experiences even with their own children, some from a feeling that the past is too horrific and others from a fear of discrimination against themselves and their offspring. But they are a modern reminder to us that when it comes to war now, that carpet bombing and bombing in general does not bring everlasting peace to the families and the generations it affects. One Hiroshima survivor once said the number of survivors will be shrinking and their voices are getting smaller, but Hiroshima needs to keep on sending a message to the world that things like this should never happen again. Which I agree, it shouldn't happen again. So why is it still happening? And finally, at our number 1, we might know it as well as the Aokigahara Forest, otherwise known as the forest where people who feel lost tragically take their own lives. The thick twisted forest of Aokigahara, eerily silent, and even sunlight finds it hard to weave its way through the canopy. This infamous forest has hundreds of people losing their lives in the forest, so much that the Japanese government had placed information and cards everywhere about prevention. But this forest has a reputation as among the creepiest and haunted places in Japan for a long time. It was used as a practice of ubetsuya, or the practice of leaving old women to die in the forest, and it is said that the Yurei soul still haunts the woods. Some blame this trend on the forest's association with demons in Japanese mythology, and others point towards the density of the trees, which muffles the sound and makes it easy to get lost. In fact, many hikers will mark their path with tape or string to make it easier to find their way back out again. It is always important to note though that you are not alone, your life is important, and if you know someone or you are someone who is struggling, there are tons of support out there, myself included. Your impact in the world is just as important as the words you say, and it's not enough to desire change, we must actively work towards it. So stay safe out there and know that you are loved whether you believe it or not. So, did you learn anything interesting today? Let me know. And for your next riddle, it goes something like this. What can you hold in your right hand but never in your left? Be sure to put your answer in the comments below and I will reveal the answer in the next video. Top 10 disgusting ways women were punished in the Victorian era. That's all for today. Thank you for joining me. My name is Jessa. Be sure to like and subscribe and I'll see your beautiful faces in the next one. Goodbye.